Excerpt from speech, Thanksgiving, 5th of October 58. I know that you stand in the everyday's life. I know that you have absorbed habits in this everyday's life. I know that you have been wrongly instructed by people who were older, because they too have fallen into a power, the power of habit. Without any convictions, they have influenced you and given you their meanings and old habits, and you have taken them to you. You have until this day not been convinced of anything. You've also tried to influence the friends in this circle. You thought you had to tell everything the way you were used to do it, to bring forward all your sorrows and distress. You talked and talked. Question: isn't that an evil, to take into your mouth this dirt that the body is loaded with? It tastes bad. I have to say, it is a tastelessness of many people who really don't know about themselves and have really no knowledge of who they belong to. They do not know about God, even though they think of themselves as being believers. But the word belief has simply become a common word to them. That's also due to the power of habit. They say, I believe, but do not think about what it means, if it is the real and true belief regarding what they themselves in truth are. They are not convinced regarding who they are and what God has decided for each one of them. And they also have a certain body, one like the other. Everyone has the same content. I say, everyone has all of this in their body. There is no difference. There is no difference in mine either. So God gave us everything in our body. But who has known about all this? Who has made use of it? Should man continue to listen to men, or does he have a duty to become convinced about who it is that has given him his wonderful body and a life on this earth? Will man continue to not use his body? Will he ever begin to do everything that he has to do? Does he not want to have that knowledge? Doesn't he want to be free? But from the start he lost the freedom that God had given him. It happened to him through people who were ignorant, who only lived in the faith this should be the case, and he had to join and agree. So he became will-less and listened to people, to others, and from then on he could no longer hear what God said to him, and that's why he today no longer stands in the divine leadership. Then he is without protection, he is without rights. Certainly he misses a lot of good. He went limp inside, his body went limp. He had less and less power inside him. The longer from God he went, knowingly or not knowingly, the less power was in his body, so that it was not enough for the organs to function normally. He could no longer go through life with power, for he had come away from the source of power. In the end he had lost the connection and could no longer take up the power. So then he, meaning his body, became a wreck. He was led so far astray that he did not know in or out, and then he began to try to get rid of and free from the evil that he had discovered inside his body. How ignorant the human is! He believes in the habit of talking about the evil and tell others about it, and also talk about how he will try everything to get rid of this evil. No, friends, That does not work. On the contrary, evil will more likely get stronger. In doing this, he degrades his next, thereby he is discouraged. The next one who receives this will become weak. He falls into the suffering. He suffers from the suffering. You would say, pity comes up in him. And with this, you can't expect help from your next. It's enough, it was enough, and it would have been enough if he only said to his next one, who would ask him the question without speaking, what is it with you? Something is pushing or holding you down. You are sad. You are so weak. You don't have to tell me anything. I can see it on you. Haven't you experienced this in life when you visited one of your next, that he looked at you and he felt that you have become weak? That there has appeared an inconsistency in you. It doesn't have to be what you call a disease, no, but some disruption that you have obtained from one of your next. Bad news, or someone has said something badly, nasty words thrown at you, and that made you weak. But you sought help from your next. You believe that he understands you, and that he can give you your advice, show you the way, how you can clear yourself from this again. It has also happened to you that you have sought someone out in the immediate vicinity. I'll go visit him. I'll pour out my heart. I have to tell him. For the most cases, you have not needed to say anything. He has said it himself. He has given you room. He has given you food and drink. He has followed you up and calmed you down. He said, it will pass. It's good that you came. You can tell me about it tomorrow, but you do not need to tell me about it. And you said, I have to tell you what happened. I just have to calm down first and take some breaths. This is what happened to me, or this is what he said to me, this is what he did to me. I do not know what to do. Emotionally, you sought up the right person, and he gave you good advice, and he helped you well. He did not discourage you. No, he gave you new courage to carry on life. With an open heart, he spoke to you and said, believe that it will be good, and what you cannot do, I will do for you. Who has not experienced something like that in life? Did you not seek a person where you could pour your heart out? Never? Then I say that is very rare. Most people have found someone they can pour their heart out for when they have been in need or in emergency, in danger or distress, and they have been helped. And how relieved you were afterwards, and you felt free again. And now you are here. Some of you have been relieved. Your little heart is no longer so loaded, because you've gotten a feeling of security, and you think, if only I do the right for myself, for my body, it will go well. I do not need to be afraid of evil anymore. I know I have to fight evil and not take it in, not let it into my body. I know that I have to take in the power, meaning to keep the connection to God, for God alone is the source of power. I will direct my attention to it if I feel something that evil is affecting me, even if that when I'm surrounded by evil, where evil is lurking everywhere, then I will make use of this good power, and the evil will turn away from me. And should my body be captured, then I know exactly, right from the start, what I have to do. To let this power prevail against evil, and evil will then not be able to do anything to my body.